Good afternoon, people. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. I don't know how good the cell service is out here in the woods, but hopefully
traditional, glam. How about mid-century modern? Whatever your taste, the Room Place has your style. Style you just won't find anywhere else.
So hopefully y'all can hear me all right.
The Room Place.
We are here at the
Anywhere
campsite.
else.
So hopefully
Welcome
you hear me all
to
right.
The Room Place.
We are here at the
Anywhere
campsite.
else.
So hopefully
Welcome
hear me all
to The
right.
Room Place.
It was quite the joy towing yesterday. So it was quite the joy actually having quite the setup, quite the rig. Of course, video to come with more specifics on that. But right now it is nap time. To come with more specifics on that. Right now it is nap time. The wife is yeah. So Heather and I decided that audio is the audio okay. So Heather and I decided bad. It's really bad. Is it just like jumpy? Sorry about that. It's probably. Is it just like jumpy? All right, I'm gonna jump out and try to jump back in. And just probably. Is it just like jumpy? All right, I'm gonna jump out and try to jump back in. And just unmute. There we go. How about now? Is the audio better now? Unmute. There we go. How about now? Is the audio better now? Yeah, that is. There we go. How about now? There we go. How about now? Now we should be good. I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, perfect. So yeah, so we're here at the campsite. We're here at Brown County State Park. If you're familiar with Indiana, it's one of the most beautiful state parks here. It's between Indianapolis and Bloomington in a little town called Nashville, and it's a cool little town, a little old pioneer village that's all a bunch of like arts and crafts stores. People make and sell their own stuff. So we had quite the week, as I'm sure many of you did. It was exhausting this week with everything going on in the US of A. So it was a much needed get out of town and get some nice relaxation in. So we're really excited to be here and kind of kick back a little bit, escape reality anyways. So I guess cat's out of the bag now. So yesterday we posted some pictures to let everybody know that we decided on a trailer that we wanted to purchase. We've been talking about this for a long time, and with the Tesla Model Y, there are some limitations on what you can and cannot consider, and weight is certainly the biggest factor of that. So we had a short list of campers to choose from, and we are very happy with our choice. This particular unit weighs just over 3,000 pounds, so without water or anything else in it, it's pretty close to the max as it is. So you have to be very strategic with this camper. So we will not ever be towing this filled with water or anything like that. But the Tesla did really well as far as towing goes. Now we have quite a bit of equipment hooked up to the Tesla to make it as safe and as stress-free as possible. We have a pretty robust trailer hitch with sway control, and it is a weight distribution hitch, which helps a ton. And it was nice because going down the highway, it wasn't shaking around or the suspension being bottomed out or anything where it's, bouncing around a lot. So it was very comfortable and felt very good. The only thing that we noticed was when a semi would go to pass you, you could feel that wind pushing you around just a little bit, but not bad overall. And as far as power goes, plenty of power. The Tesla Model Y, of course, is a fast car, has plenty of juice. So no issues towing up hills or anything like that. Never once did it try to accelerate at full throttle or anything like that. But it should be pretty interesting. Of course, make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to try to get the video done this week so that Friday you can see how this trip went. I'll be talking about range, all that stuff. I know that's what everybody wants to know. I won't be sharing those details today. You'll have to wait for the video, but we will definitely include that. There are some lessons learned on this. I hope that I'm not the only one who's crazy enough to think about towing with a Tesla. Hopefully some of you are considering it as well, because it is pretty awesome. There are some limitations though, towing with an electric car. So some things to think about, but there's also some cool workarounds. So I'm excited to share that with you guys, and hopefully some of you will consider taking the plunge and a leap. But basically, the wife and I have been talking about this for a long time. And like I said, once we got the Tesla, we knew what our limitations were on what we could consider. So we had our short list of wants and a very long list of needs, and kind of worked through that to filter through which trailer was going to be the best option for us. And this one is pretty dang cool. I tried very hard and very long to convince my wife a pop-up trailer would be a better option, and I was unsuccessful. So unfortunately, that was never going to be on her list. So that's okay. We have this much larger unit now, and I can tell you this. More so than the weight, although weight is a factor, more so than the weight is aerodynamics. This trailer is about a foot and a half wider than the Tesla, and probably 4 foot taller than the Tesla. So you can imagine the drag that we are experiencing while towing, and that's important because that's going to be one of the bigger drivers of range. Of course, weight is going to also impact that, but you guys will definitely get a very detailed look of what it's like to tow something like this. So it's about 8 foot wide, 20 foot long. It has bunk beds for the boys, which is so much fun. And I'm so excited that we found a trailer that had bunk beds that was within the weight limit that we were restricted to. So the boys absolutely love it. This is their first time camping, and it has been a lot of fun. So right now they're napping in their bunks and having a blast with that. So we are, as you can see behind me, in a pretty awesome setting. There's a nice ravine back here, nice and peaceful and quiet. As you can also see, it is November in Indiana. However, it's like 72, 74 degrees, something like that. It's supposed to be close to 80 tomorrow. This is probably the nicest November day I can remember, and I am not complaining one bit. So, of course, with everything going on in the world right now, we have felt cooped up, and every time we take these little trips, it always feels nice and refreshing to kind of get out of the house. Of course, trying to be as safe as possible. But if you're going to leave, I can't think of a safer way to do it than to go camping. So we are having a really nice, relaxing time while we're here. So anyways, I just wanted to set up a live stream and talk about this a little bit. Also wish everybody to be safe, and with your own things going on in your mind with the election and things like that, to just remember to take care of yourself first and foremost. You know, don't let any of this election stuff really drag you down. I think it was the most stressful week in a while, because it's just the uncertainty thing for so many days that was definitely taking a toll. So it's nice to recharge, and that's what's nice about how there's balance of power, so to speak. So anyways, this is not a political channel, and we won't be talking politics. So I do think that if you are considering going camping, there are definitely options. One of the nice things about the Tesla Model Y, of course, is the ability to camp in the car. And if you're able to do that, that's kind of like camping without compromise when it comes to range. So your cargo and everything that you can fit in there is not going to be heavy enough to seriously reduce your range. So that's nice. However, you're limited on space, and additionally, if you have a family, that's not very practical. So 2 adults can sleep in the back of the Model Y. We've done it, and it was pretty comfortable. Now, we had a pretty awesome mattress to do that on, but the next step up is a tent. And I don't want to spoil too many surprises, but we are working on something very exciting that will be shared on the channel as far as tent camping goes with a Tesla. And that would be your next best, because also you won't have to do, you won't really have to give up a bunch of range if you're towing a tent instead. So, and then the ultimate, I guess, glamping, camping with amenities, as I like to say, is a trailer of some kind. And certainly you should consider weight, size, and aerodynamics, because every little bit is going to help, as you will see on Friday. The range that we got was worse than I expected, and I had a pretty low expectation of what our range was going to be. I will put it to you this way. We left the house at 100% charge, and I thought we would have plenty of charge to get here to where we're at right now. And we barely made it. So the scariest part was when we pulled in. We got in through the gate, and I asked the lady how far was the campsite, because our car is saying we have 4 miles of realistic range left, and our campsite was 5 miles from that gate. So it was very sketchy, to say the least. So yeah, so best guess on timing for the long range. Long range will be coming soon. I think it'll be Q1 of 2021. 7-seat passenger is in production right now, and those deliveries are going to be in December. So I'm excited to see those. I don't know how many of you have a reservation for the 7-passenger. It's going to be absolutely tiny and impossible for a grown human to sit in the back, but perhaps with children it is doable. So I would expect Q1 of 2021. Once they fulfill all those 7-passenger orders, I think they'll go ahead and release the rear-wheel drive. That's another thing to consider. If you can get away with without all-wheel drive, I think the rear-wheel drive would be a great option if you're going to be towing something, because you have a little bit more range, and every little bit is going to help if you're going to be crazy like us and do this. Speaking of which, when we first got the Model Y, we did get a few looks, and that was kind of fun because it was a new car. I have not seen so many looks as I got towing with a Tesla. It was absolutely hilarious going down the highway as people were passing, just like, what was that? And all the people here at the campground asking all kinds of questions, which is really fun. If people ask you questions about Teslas, it's just another opportunity to educate people. There's a lot of misinformation about electric cars and capability and things like that. It's a great opportunity to kind of shed some of that light, you know, as electric cars are still less than, what, 2% of the total market. So there's a lot of work to do to explain to people and sell them on why electric cars are great and why they can be a viable option for most people. So anyways, that has been a lot of fun. And like I said, the boys have had an absolute blast, and they love the bunk beds. And today we went looking for some rocks, and we washed away the dirt to find the really cool shiny rocks, and now we've got bags of rocks. So that was our adventure today. So that was a lot of fun. So if you're familiar with this area, or you're close to this area, you should definitely check out Brown County State Park. It is beautiful here. There's tons and tons of hiking, mountain biking, trails, all that stuff here. And then of course, like I said, the town of Nashville is right down the bottom of this hill. We have hills here in Indiana, not mountains. And it's a nice little place. So you just, to do a live stream, you've just gotta, it's an option. When you post a video at the same place, you can click go live. So anyways, I would love to take you guys inside of the trailer, but I don't want to wake up anybody that's sleeping in there right now. So we can look at it from out here. It's pretty cool. It's got a queen size bed for myself and my wife, a couple of bunk beds, a full bathroom with a shower, and a table. It's got a kitchen, everything but an oven. It does not have an oven, just cooktops, microwave, that kind of stuff. One of the really cool things about this, now I don't know how practical it's going to be, it is hooked up for Wi-Fi, and it's pretty awesome. So you can add a service to the pre-wire. It's got an antenna on the roof, so you never have to be disconnected, which is kind of cool for people who like to be connected while unplugging, I guess. So I was looking at the service plans, but they were absolutely out of control in pricing. It was ridiculous. It was like 20 gigs was maybe 80 bucks or something. You know, you watch a couple movies, that's gone. So that would not last very long at all. But so this is the trailer, pretty awesome. It's got electronic brakes. We hooked up the trailer brake right before we came here, so I'll be sharing those details as well. Always, of course, want to be safe while you're towing, but let's take a look here. We got the trailer hitch installed, and I want to show you how bad of a design this is. So the trailer is fine, the hitch, but if you can see that, I mean, it is tucked in there, and then the where you hook up the chains is way up here. Now here's the problem. See how big my hand is? So it's kind of a hassle to get everything hooked up in here because it's all just tucked in here. It's really tight. It's not impossible, but it's definitely not convenient hooking all this stuff up. So this opening just, I'm sure they were just limited on design, how they set this up, but man, I wish it was a bigger opening that you could work with because it's very tight. Once you get a pretty big hitch hooked up to there, there's not a lot of room to get your hand in here to stick a pin in. So you can only stick a pin in one way, and that's the only side that's got enough room to get a hand in there. So I thought that was interesting. Tow mode it worked pretty flawlessly. When you do have tow mode on, as in the car detects there's a trailer hooked up, it automatically shuts off a bunch of systems, and that's all right for safety, but you do not have autopilot. You do, however, still get to retain your cruise control, so it's automatically adjusting to distance and speed and things like that, which is super convenient. Takes away a lot of the stress of driving. So just set your speed and increase the distance so you give yourself a little bit more room to work with. But worked out really well. We just set the cruise and didn't really have to worry about it. I think we set our traveling distance to 5 and it worked pretty well. Now coming down, because of the consumption, I was watching and it was consuming at a much faster rate than I anticipated. And because of that, I did have to slow down. So on the way down, we were doing, I think, 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. And when we got closer, I reduced it another 5 miles per hour because the consumption was far more than I had anticipated. And I've watched a couple videos of people towing, and it wasn't so great. So again, you'll see on Friday, hopefully I can get that done by Friday, just what it was. So we now know the limitation of how far we can consider going in the Tesla towing this thing, which is fine. But any big dreams I had of taking this all the way to Florida went out the window last night. So we will not be traveling any farther than the neighboring states, and you'll see very clearly why that is on Friday. But I hope that you guys like the trailer. It's pretty cool. I will be sharing some pictures inside once everybody's awake, but just wanted to chat with y'all and see how everybody was doing, and remind you all to take care of yourselves during these times and make sure that you are mentally and physically healthy during all this stuff. It's like 2 pandemics all at once. We have the crazy election period and we've got COVID going on. So make sure you take care of yourself and your mental health right now, because find your escape, get away for a weekend, and you know, take care of yourself. And don't forget to take care of those around you. You know, check in on friends and family and make sure that everybody around you is doing well too. Sometimes you never know when somebody's struggling. I saw an article last week that talked about the increase in mental health issues during COVID because everybody's stuck at home, away from their social networks. So it's very important that you take care of yourself and those around you right now. But unless there are some questions or things you guys would like to talk about, I think we'll wrap this up. Just wanted to take some time to say hey to everybody. So hope that you all have a wonderful weekend like we are having, and I hope that the weather is as good where you are as it is here for a beautiful November day. And if that's it, we will catch you guys next time. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. See ya.